Oh, I still love that intro. What a winner. What a winner. It's so slick. It's the only slick bit of the show. Welcome. Episode 4, Series 2 of the Plastic Crack podcast. I forgot what it was there for a minute. Hosted this week by me, Dom, from Bits on the Table. And we've got Ken up there on the top left-hand side from Miniature Wargames Warriors. We got Martin, the snowman, down at the bottom there from 7th Sun.
We're back on that now, are we?
We're back on that one again.
I was Dr. Jones last week. I enjoyed that. No,
I made you too cool, so no, not having that.
Too cool, that was it. Too cool for school.
I have never been referred to as too cool.
And the man that brings some respectability and some degree of sanity to the show is Steve, down here in the dark, down there at the bottom corner from On Point HQ. Hi guys, how you doing? All good?
Not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. Monday.
It's Monday, yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful day. I do love my Mondays when I can be here.
1st of February. 1st of
It
February.
It is.
Bloody hell, how did we get there? Doesn't it just? Feels just like every other bloody Monday at the moment, but there you go. So what we been up to? What's been doing hobby-wise? Let's start with Steve, because Steve always does interesting things. What have you been up to, mate?
More Landsnets and more Polish Airborne.
Oh, hang on, I got some pictures here. Let's bring them up. Let's have a look at these. Oh, look at that.
That's my update. It's only 2 bases, but there we go.
You naughty man. Look at that. Look at those lounge necks.
They are pretty sweet, mate. Very nice indeed. Yeah, I do like them. Lots and lots and lots.
How did you find the painting them, Steve? You don't mind them, do you?
I don't mind them. I really don't. It's therapeutic.
So it's a weird one, mate. I wouldn't have thought you would have enjoyed the lounge necks, since you can't stand French.
I didn't see that coming at all. No, I did not see it.
No. Nobody did. I had quite a few comments. I put them on Twitter, and Nick from Two Fat Laddies retweeted it, and I got quite a bit of traction from them. Some really, really nice comments as well. So I think people people are a bit shocked that I'm not painting bolt action.
I have to change your name on here, mate.
I know. I seem to have a bit of a German reputation. But yeah, that's not a lot of painting. Very busy last week, but I'm happy with the progress that I actually got through. But more Landsnecks tonight.
Oh, more Landsnecks. Have you gone and bought the whole army like you promised you were going to do?
No, not yet. I'm going to get through the entire box, and depending on the level of drool and froth that I may have had from painting all 30 of them. But I am enjoying it so far. And I think an entire army would just look fantastic. But it's going to take me a while. But yeah, it's definitely in the near future, I think.
It's on its way. It's coming.
Yes.
It's coming. What about you, Martin? What have you been up to, mate?
All I've managed to do was do about 50% of a unit of musketeers for my ECW. So yes, there they are on my painting stick, which was the update, because it's the best way. I can knock them out a lot easier. Plus, also it sits on my shoulder when I do it, like some bizarre, like I don't know, you should put shots along it or something. No, it's been a really, really busy week at work, crazily, which is good, but also that eats into hobby time. But apart from that, I managed to get I was doing quite a lot of reading of various books, because I just need a break sometimes from painting. So that was sort of last week, a little bit. Watched some films, did some reading. I finished that book you're reading, the Battle of Northampton book. By Mike Ingram. I finished that just because I wanted to get some ideas for when my Neville stuff starts. But other than that, I've actually quite a relaxing week, hobby-wise. Work-wise, it's horrific. But
yeah, that's the problem. Real life gets in the way sometimes, doesn't it?
Real life. Oh, it's been a bloody interesting week for me, Dom. So obviously I was on call last week, but I managed to get a fair bit of hobby done. Which I was really surprised with. Where are my pictures? Where are they? Where are
Down
they?
the
Where are
bottom
they?
here somewhere.
Yeah,
That one?
there they are. Yeah, there we go. So, yes, there are ships on the screen, and they're not French. No, they are not French. They are the Royal Navy. So, as you can probably see behind me in a minute, I have a couple of victory.
Oh, hang on, I've got to do all action. Hang on, there. Turn
Yes,
the thing.
there's a couple of victory at sea boxes here. So we can say what happened. We've obviously got Warlords that are coming on at some point. They sent us some freebies, and they said, "What do you like?" And I said victory at sea, because it's something we spoke about before, didn't we, Dom?
Mm-hmm, we did,
and we were like, don't know if we're going to pull the trigger on it, weren't we? And we were like, so we.
I wasn't convinced by the hovercraft effect.
No, we weren't. No, we weren't. So I thought, well, why not give it a go? And I'm kind of hooked now.
So Ken, let's get this right. So we got sent very generously
we did.
a fleet each.
We did.
But then you've kind of gone a little bit bananas, and precisely what else have you bought on top of that?
I've bought the starter set. So Japanese and an American Navy. Yeah. Cheers. And I might have bought, I'm not going to show you what they are, but I have bought 2 individual ships as well. There's one, there's 2, but yes, you're not going to see those because they're surprises. But I am in the middle of doing, because do you know what they were? Do you know when you just find a model that's so pleasurable to paint that you really enjoy doing it and you can't stop? I found that with those ships. I hate it because I was like, I'm going to hate those bases, but I love them.
Wow.
It's so bad, isn't it? And I even went to the stage of thinking, how could I make a terrain board where I could submerge the bases but leave the rest above in water?
That's called water.
Yeah, you could.
So
but I'm trying to work out how I could make the board.
How about sand? You could have a sand pit.
What, use the blue sand? You can buy blue play sand for kids.
Yeah.
So perfect for you, Ken.
Yeah, but
that's just made me think of something.
Idea.
So Ken is painting ships. Never thought I'd see that. I'm painting Lancenets. Thought I'd see that. Dom, when's the French happening?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to know when the French is happening.
Well, I have heard that hell is freezing over anytime soon. So
I know it's crazy. It's crazy. But so I'm shit mad at the minute.
You're sorry, what mad?
What? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right, not the other one.
Not the other one.
Not the other one. But I'm in the middle of painting the 3rd one up at the minute. So there's the 3rd one. They take 20 minutes, half an hour, right? And I'm doing a tutorial on that, so a little guide. So I'm going to do a guide for every single ship in that Royal Navy fleet, and I'm also going to do it for that because they're just so easy to do, and it's just the colours you want to get them right. So I'm going to do that, but that's for that. And I've also done this. Look at that! Look at that!
Bloody hell's fire!
Oh, Ken's been a busy boy. That second lot at the back is Italians. I've finished my Italians. They're done now. So I've got 4 battalions of them. I've got 2 from the 1st and 2 from the 7th because, Martin, that base that you've done, that colonel, was the 7th, isn't it? So, yes, it is. I know it is. So don't be an arse.
It's not. It's the 3rd. Go and watch the video. It's not. It's the 3rd.
No!
I even made a video. I made a video. You could go and look.
No, priceless.
Oh, I'm gonna have to do the 3rd as well. No, I'm not.
Another regiment.
No, it doesn't matter if you don't have the 3rd because you've got the banner from the 3rd, so you wouldn't have 2 banners.
No. Oh, this is okay. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, this.
Don't let him off the hook that easily, Martin.
No, that's a good shout.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you could have just gone and rewatched the video that I lovingly put together for you, and I even wrapped it and unwrapped it.
You did, and I promised people as well. So I've done this. I've done this now, and I did promise an Italian painting guide to some people, which I will be doing. I've got a Perry's in my hand right here, and he's going to be my painting guide. So he's going to be my painting guide of how I paint my Italians. And I'm not kidding you. I don't know what it is, but like Martin said, I've just clicked with it. With painting Napoleonics, and they're just so quick now. Those guys in the great coats, I did what you said to do, Martin. I painted them all to like a standard, so like just all with the great coats, all the greatcoats done, and then I did 6 at a time, and I can do them in like 25 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm going to be. I keep on getting asked about how I do greatcoats because I haven't done anything on it. So
contrast paints.
I don't use contrast.
You don't? Oh, no. I do.
So no, because it didn't come out. The contrast wasn't out when I started doing them. So I have another way. I'm now vary from it, and so
yeah, because it won't look right, will it?
Yeah,
the Italians I've done, they're pretty much their contrast with just a couple of normal techniques. Even the reds on them and the greens, contrast. But one I was proud of, which I haven't showed off yet, which I will show off in a video. If I can just get a quick little zoomy up there. Okay, it's my Chasseur Cheval here, and I did them in. Yeah, I did them in the 4th regiment because you don't normally see the yellow, because yellow's such a pain in the ass. But the way I've done that again is contrast paint. So the white, but I just went over with, what's it called? Iron yellow. Just one coat of that and put a wash over it, and yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's why I did the 3rd, because I wanted the orange. I just didn't want the red.
Yeah, there's enough red in there in French cavalry, so it's nice to get a bit of variation. That's what I mean. I've got 2 lots of
those
red
on the way as well, actually. Not to sort of like pin my garment out, but I've got him stuck together. Because like I said to you guys, if you buy that box of this box of the Chasseurs à Cheval, you get enough.
From Perry.
You get enough
you do.
to make 14, right? This one.
Mm-hmm.
You can make 14, but you get enough bodies to make 28. You don't need to make any swaps or anything like that. So you just need more horses. I need 10 more horses. Now the horses you get 3 for £3 off their website. So, and you've already got. I do my regiments in 12, so I've got 2 in there. So I'm going to do 11, and I might do get one of the casualties and do one of them getting blasted out of the saddle or something. But yeah, so for £9, you basically get a whole nother regiment, which is annoying because that means I'm no closer to finishing my cavalry.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bugger. Well, how did you do yours, mine? Did you mix the trousers up and that, or did you keep them all the same? Because I kept mine all the same. I wanted mine
no, I mixed some of them, but because I went and had a look at some of the different ranks and the different trouser patterns that they had, I don't know. Ultimately, they're green with an orange stripe down them. So and then because I used the mud, I cake it on. The only thing that because I wanted to do the elite regiment, I used the Shakos with the plumes on. So for the next regiment, for a standard one, I won't. I'll just standard.
I haven't done any elite cavalry yet. I'm gonna have to do, because I know some people they mix it all in, but I like to keep mine the same throughout the whole thing. So if I do the elite company, I represent the elite company of all 12. And do it like that. It's just something I do with mine. But you get enough for an extra trumpeter as well, if I remember rightly.
I think you do, yeah. I've got so many bits I can probably make one. Although, to be fair, because the musician is obviously the colours inverted. So my one was entirely orange with sort of green piping, whereas the others are green with orange facings.
Yeah. Depend on the company. It's like trumpeter in my Lancers was blue. On his jacket, and green trousers and white. That was different.
Well, I want to know, because I saw a list appear on YouTube. I didn't click what Dom's painted because I didn't even click on his community post because it's so long now. It's actually kind of.
You know what? Actually, bizarrely, I was going to say I haven't actually done that much this week. I had a real
for you, not much for
me.
You.
No, not for me. It doesn't happen to me very often, but I had a bit of a lack of motivation. Well, sort of mojo went a bit on. Ooh. So I planned to do a whole load of Normans, some of my Norman project, and so I had masses, and I'd spent a lot of time because the weather's been so shit, as you know, and I'd made up loads of them, and I'd undercoated them, and they're all ready to go. And I started to do them. I thought I don't really want to do them. But that was all I had sprayed up. So it was like trying to get out in amongst, the showers and what have you to then prepare some other figures because I spray outside, obviously, because that's a safe, responsible thing to do. Yeah. So I didn't actually do a huge amount. I did do a few. I did these things. These are, figure's not terribly in focus, but these are American 1812 infantry that I had in my stash of figures. For muskets and tomahawks because I just really like them, the North Star ones. Yeah,
it's a nice little photo booth you got there now, mate. Did you set that up? Did you?
I did. Yeah, I've got my daughter's spare room, or my daughter's bedroom. Now she's moved out. I've set it up in there, which is rather nice.
Nice one.
So it's quite cool. And then this one isn't in the spare, and that's the Saracens I got from Carl from Mez's Miniatures, which were a little bit challenging, I have to say. But I did get them finished, so I was pleased with that. And really, that's true. I'm lying now. So I did finish off a regiment of 24 Napoleonics.
Not just a regiment.
Dom,
But they were kind of finished.
Dom, can I just stop you there?
Yeah.
Are you taking the piss? You've had a slow week. And you've painted more in a week than I'd paint in about 6. Just throwing that one out.
I have to say, I did add up on that community post. I did put at the bottom how many figures I've done, and even I went, "Oh my goodness, that's quite a few." It's like 208 infantry I've done in January, basically. It's just kind of a bit silly, really. But there you go. So yeah, that was me. So I kind of didn't have as productive a week as I aimed to have, but I still did a fair bit. So
Jesus.
So anyway, that while we're talking about Saracens, those Saracens from they're actually V&V ones. Our mate at Mez's Miniatures is sponsoring the channel. Thank you very much, Carl. Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers.
Hang around to the
Cheers,
end.
Carl.
There is a new code that is going to come your way that you'll be able to get a nice discount on his site. Could always recommend the V&V stuff, and if Ken hasn't bought every bit of French,
I have ordered some Avonpost from Carl.
There you go. Yeah.
I went direct, so Carl doesn't stock the resin stuff, the resin infantry, but he can get them. So if you contact him direct via his web store, you can get them. But that's what I've done. I've ordered 24 resin, and every single one of those miniatures is individual. There are no doubles. So completely unique regiment, with a brass eagle, I might add as well. Because he started to stock some. Actually, when I think about it, he did post something today on his Facebook page, which I thought was interesting. Here we go. If anybody's into their Dark Age stuff, resin Irish warriors. And they look sweet. He started shipping to the States again as well, hasn't he? Because I know we had some people saying they're in America and they couldn't get hold of the Avonpost stuff, but he is shipping there again, so you can get from Carl.
I really want these.
They
They
look nice. They look very, very, very nice.
So there we go, and that's some more of the Irish. So yeah, if you want some of those, head over to Mez's site. They're at the bottom, mezersminis.co.uk. But it's about time we said hello to a few folks in the chat, because it's been, crikey, we've already been going nearly 20 minutes and we haven't said hello to anybody. Sorry about that. So we got Leslie.
News update. Anyway, that was the update anyway from what we've been doing. So.
Oh yeah, it is exactly. So we got Leslie's here. Hello, mate. How you doing? Graham says hi, folks. Hope it's all well. We got Nick Games, coffee, popcorn, and lots of paint. Read, check. Yeah. Hope you're all ready with your hobbies. Let us know in the chat what you're doing, what you're working on. I hope nobody else is quite as addicted as these two are Napoleonic stuff, because that's a little bit worrying. Got Hamster on the painting table. Evening all, he says. Yeah. Actually, no, you're doing a ECW. You're all right. Okay.
Yeah, he's doing ECW now, but when he bloody ask him how much bloody French he's got.
A lot.
Christ. I thought I was catching him up. Am I hell?
No, you're not. No chance.
I don't put them all out on the table because some of them are so crappily painted that I want to show them off. I'm gradually getting there.
Evening, Peter. Peter gave us a cracking question, which we'll get to later on this evening. So I was really, really impressed. So thanks for that one, Peter. I'll get round to that in a bit. Leslie says, don't put the paintbrush in the coffee. I think that's you, Steve. Must be you. I've got a beer, so I can't.
That's why I've big mugs out. That's why, so I can't accidentally stick my brush in big mug. So
got Evil Jim Reaper. Hi, good
Hello,
evening, mate. How you doing?
Hey, Jim.
We got Friends of General Haig. He says, good evening, all. Evening, mate. Evening, sir. Richard the Lionheart is here. Evening, all. What else we got? Nick Games says he mixes the brush in the salty popcorn instead. Yeah, fair enough. Extra flavour to the paint. I like it. Gludden, hi Rory, how you doing, mate? He says, hello, folks. Loads of us chomping at the bit this evening. Blimey, that's good to hear. I wish we were. It's Monday, 1st of February. Calm down, you lot. Jeez. Rogue Trooper, good evening to one and all. Time for my weekly fix. I know we feel like that. I have to say, genuinely, really look forward to this Monday night.
Yeah,
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Good grief. We've got Daycase 6069. Hi all, normally watch this later in the week while painting Minnie's first time of live tonight.
Welcome.
Well, welcome, mate.
welcome to the crack.
Welcome to the crack. We've got Enemy at Sight. Good evening all. That's very apt for Ken's new project. That logo on there on his site. There we go. Enemy in Sight. About to put a torpedo down his tube, so to speak.
Oh yeah, because they're doing subs as well, so I'll have to buy all them.
There we go. So we got blimey, getting to the end here. Nick Games, he says, "Haha, I love the intro. Well done." Yeah, it's a bit of a winner, mate. If you haven't seen that one, that's off. Kudos to Ken on that one. Absolutely brilliant. There's our sponsor, Carl. Hi, good evening, mate. How you doing?
Evening, Carl.
What else we got? Oh God. Gludden, really like your channel too. Great work, mate. Yeah, it does. He does good. Rory does some good painting tips, and he really helped me out this week because I'm so bloody incompetent. So I found on somebody's channel they were talking about this this new way of or this wash to put on your figures, and I printed it out and I saved the bookmark. So I thought, but when I went back to find it, I couldn't find it, and he was asking me how the hell did I do them, and I couldn't remember, and then he reminded me what it was. So thank you very much for that, because I've now printed it off twice and put it in two different places. Gino Enrique, hi everybody. He says good. Graham, hi Graham, mate. How you doing? He says hi. Is it working? Well, it seems to be. Ken hasn't left yet, and that's usually when it all breaks. Last week when he dropped out from into his dark, dingy, whatever he was. Lay-by, it all crashed.
The depths of Portsmouth.
Yeah, depths of Portsmouth. And there are some depths of Portsmouth, let's be honest.
Oh, yes.
Miller says, good evening all. Hiya, Miller. How you doing, mate? How you getting on with your challenge? That's what we want to know.
Oh, that's a really good point, actually. Yeah, how's that going? I think the flock is drying on it and the water effect is ready to pour.
He's probably doing the video as we talk, I should imagine, showing us what it all looks like. Grandad's Art Space says, hi, everybody. Good evening, sir. How you doing? Leslie's asking, Martin, are you working on an excavation in Cambridge for the Roman medieval cemetery?
No.
No is the answer to that, sir.
No. If it's, I do jobs in Cambridge, but that kind of stuff is usually the university unit that gets that.
Of course it is. For those who didn't know, Martin is an archaeologist, so that's why anything like that we refer to him. Peter says he's assembling War of the Roses and Dark Age Irish. You like those ones from B&V then, mate, I'm sure. Miller says Landslicks look great. I see Adam front and center in his green leaf codpiece.
Yeah, I should probably explain. Miller left a comment on one of my community pictures, and he said it was rather Adam leaf looking. And I said to him, of all my painting, I never thought I'd be sat at my desk one day deciding what color to paint a codpiece. That's a new one on me. You don't get that with World War II bolt action stuff, especially not Germans anyway. Distinct lack of cod pieces in Stalingrad.
Yeah,
that's what it's missing.
Yeah,
you do some
more cod pieces.
Maybe that's where the Germans went wrong. Discuss, possibly. You never know.
The ghoul tactic may have worked.
Would have kept them warm.
Yeah. Nick says, with that epic intro, I expect to see Russell Crowe taking command over your guys' hobby table. He needs to take control over somebody around here, that's for sure.
Or he just come in and hit us with a phone.
Probably.
There's
a great story that he was in the village I live in. He apparently was here filming. I don't know what film it was for. and he was here for about 6 months, and he got thrown out of every single pub in the village, and there's quite a lot of them. Apparently, he was quite a character. I never actually bumped into him, sadly. Graham says it's not working here. Can anyone see anything? Well, it must be you, Graham, because everyone else, I think, can see everything. It's not us this time. For once, it doesn't seem to be us.
Hey.
Geests Wargaming says hello, hello, hello. Hello, mate. How you doing?
Hello.
Is it really bad that I wanted to go, what's going on here?
Yeah, it is. I know what's going on here then.
Yeah.
Leslie's working on varnishing his Mexican Revolution government forces in 15 mil. Crikey, Leslie, you always do such specialist forces. I'm so impressed with the projects you work on. None of that obvious stuff for you, is it? Josh,
None of those
hi,
bullshit.
none of this
Yeah,
common
Josh.
rubbish. Right. Oh, blimey. These questions just flying in. Right, we've got a question here for the chaps. Grandad says, Art Space says, question, I think he means Victrix Napoleonic figures fit in with Perry and Warlords or not? I think so.
I did a video on that.
Give us a synopsis. Come on.
The Grenadiers do. I've matched up some of the greatcoats, the Warlord greatcoats, against some of like the old Guard, and they'll match if you want to use them as greatcoats. But I don't think you're normal, because I've got an officer and I've matched him against one of the greatcoats. He does look rather small. He looks more of a 25. But if you mix the normal guys in, I think that'll be all right with the Perrys. But I think the greatcoats of the Warlord, it's your choice of flavour, really. They just seem a bit smaller.
Yeah, I've got command bases with Perry and Victrix on. Perry mixes all right with them. British,
Perry does, doesn't it?
The Perry British mix. I've got Perry mixed in with my Victrix regiments, and the only thing is the heads. Just the heads that are slightly smaller for Victrix, but 3 foot away on a table. It hasn't bothered me at all.
Yeah, I have to say, my last British foot regiment I had Victrix officers and Warlords for normal line, and you couldn't really tell the difference, to be honest. I think they fit in fine. As you say, the rule of 3, they're fine.
Yeah. Have you how's your pile, Dom?
That's a bit personal. That's very personal at this stage in the night, for goodness sake. You said you weren't going to talk about that. The ointment's working well, mate. My pile is actually fine, actually. Thank you very much. I've just dug out some new things
You
from
added
my
to
pile.
it. You added to it at all?
Nothing at all. No, not at all. Never. I have added quite a lot lately. I had a bit of a meltdown on the whole projects I was working on. The good thing was I played a game of Sharp Practice over Zoom the other night with Jonathan. Yeah. And it was so much fun, and I've got so much hot into it again. I thought I really want to get back into doing some more Napoleons. Not that I haven't stopped, but I just want to do more. So that sort of got me all hot.
You need some British, didn't you? You need some British, didn't you?
I need British. I also bought some Brunswickers, and I've also bought, what else did I buy?
It don't take you long to paint them, mate. So it's not really like you're cheating or anything like that.
No,
but your friends are there just helping you with your, keeping your
yeah.
Somebody's
casting off their British excess, and it seems to be flying its way up to Portsmouth.
I had a really good idea for you, Ken.
Oh,
this is just reminding me. No, I had a really good idea, because you're never, ever, ever going to finish your little brown envelope thing of shame, because basically it's never going to happen, right? So I had this really good idea where I thought, how everyone does like a giveaway? I think what you should do is go on your channel and just get loads of people to just send you their addresses, and you should just randomly put their addresses on brown envelopes and just post it. And just see, and then just like, when like kids let a balloon go and you see how far it goes.
Yeah.
Then you get someone to post it back, and they paint it for you. You get them to paint it for you and send it back.
That would be nice, but I think people would tell me to go fuck myself personally. But it's not a bad idea, Martin. I'm not going to lie, it's not a bad idea. But
obviously I wouldn't do it in my stuff, but yeah, I'd watch you do it in yours.
Yeah.
I think give away your stuff.
I've got some bolt action stuff in there somewhere. Some Germans, Steve. They're in that. They're in there. So I need to get them out of the brown bags. But yeah, the brown bag is very much a closed item at the moment.
Dear, oh dear.
Oh yes, all 6 of the Lancers are based. Well, standardly, but that's what I'm doing tonight. You know, it's just so satisfying, isn't it, when you get that flock on there? It's such a satisfying step. It's that last step you go, oh, well, yeah, happy day. Well, not for you, because you varnish your stuff. I don't varnish when it comes to Napoleonics.
I just doesn't. I don't get that. I don't
varnish it before I flock it. I'll do it afterwards.
I don't even varnish.
I just don't varnish. I don't varnish.
Unless it's a metal figure and it's going to get chipped, I don't see the point.
Oh, no. There's loads of point.
You only have to get it chipped once, so then never have to borrow.
But it's not just that. It does mute the colours. It takes shine off of it as well. If there is any glossiness in there.
Yeah, but
it sort of blends them a bit as well. I think in some ways.
I like. Yeah, but you always got that risk of white frosting.
No, you don't. If you spray,
not if you do it properly, you don't.
Never a problem. Oh dear. Lionheart says Ken's determined to catch Martin. Lol. No, he won't. He'll never catch him.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Yeah, but you got with what, French, or are you going to paint a British army at the same time?
Nah, French.
There you go.
I'll overtake you a French. That will happen. I've got more. Oh my god! I've got more Italians than you. I've just realised. I win. Yes, 100%. I got 4 regiments and skirmishers.
You do for now, yeah.
Oh dear.
Are you taking your eye off the ball and have been tempted away like a
like a foolish man?
Whereas I'm just going to carry on just happily painting one Napoleonic thing every now and then, just adding it on.
Every time you paint one unit, it just makes my life that bit harder.
Steve, do you ever feel like these are a married couple? These two, they just squabble like a married couple.
I always get the impression like two rival Napoleonic generals.
Both French marshals. That's what
French marshals vying for the emperor's attention.
Yeah,
maybe right. JP's in the house. Good evening, mate. How you doing? Guesty says, "What's Ken's YouTube channel?" Oh, you don't want to go there, mate. Don't go and look at his channel.
It's in the comments. It was in the show notes. Miniature Wargaming Warriors.
Yeah, it's rubbish. Don't go there.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Hamster says it's Mini Wargames Warriors. There you go. He was there for you. Carl's a bit scared about. Does anyone else think that he's a bit creeped out by the doll behind you, Steve? Just don't want to worry you. Did you notice?
Yeah.
That? Okay. Just.
I've always noticed that, Mike. You shouldn't be able to see that.
His name is Percy.
It's there. Yeah, you can just about see it on the edge there. Yeah.
Anyone who just saw that was Hayley just sneaking to the fridge. She managed to get herself in shot there and tried to be really quiet.
Hi, Hayley.
Never mind.
So, quick one.
Just look like in the fridge.
Yeah, for milk.
Not wine.
Yes.
I didn't realise she was still close enough to hear.
Oh, what the hell is that, Steve? Where did you get that from? What is
that? Looks like an elf on a shelf.
Apparently, it looks like me. I don't see the resemblance. That's the whole reason I have it.
Actually, if you flatten down the ears, it does.
Yeah. Smile, mate.
I love it. Oh, Jesus.
You just created yourself into a meme there, Steve.
Imaginary Conflict says, you land yellow is the best yellow I've ever used. Never tried that one.
Iron yellow. Yeah. You land in yellow.
Where's that? Is that
contrast, mate?
Oh, contrast one. Okay.
Yeah. But if you recess, I'll tell you what. As I said before, if you recess then shade with Nasdrag yellow, it works out really, really well. It really pops. Oh god, I can't believe I just said that.
It's such a nice yellow, isn't it?
Yeah,
It pops.
it pops.
I use that for my French drums as well. So that goes in the drum recesses. Works really nice.
Joshua says no room for yellow in bolt action. Sorted. Yeah, but that's what Steve said, Joshua. Now look what he's doing. He's got his Landsknecht Yarmy. There's plenty of yellow in that.
I just
There's enough
finished painting.
for everyone.
Worked out. This dude got 6 individual colours on him.
I'm so impressed with you. I just can't believe it. I thought you'd have a
Yeah,
complete
you can't finish
meltdown.
those last 6 of bloody French just to finish that battalion off.
Uh,
Driving me nuts, that is. That's driving me friggin' nuts.
Oh dear. Peter says, I wonder what Dom's not painting this week. I'm not painting. Actually, I'm not painting. I'm sort of assembling as I'm looking because I don't want to interfere with the chat. I'm actually doing.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. The chat.
Napoleonic British light dragoons, Perry ones.
I wonder. Where'd you get up to, Dom?
What?
Jesus. Where are we? How
Oh,
far
but
are we
long
down?
down.
What time
we
is
got-
that one?
Oh god, I can't see the times, mate. About 8:14, something. 8:13. There you go.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we got miles to go.
Ricky
It's all right,
says,
you go.
"Hi, good evening." No, I'm not painting Baron Wars, actually. If you've seen the video, I did get my Baron Wars stuff, and it is really, really sweet. Really pleased with it, but it is not going to be painted anytime soon. I got loads of comments on my video about people saying, "Are you going to get it done by Monday?" No, even I wouldn't manage that. It's not being done. It'll sit there for some considerable time, but yeah. We got Brendan and Libby. Hi from New Zealand. Hiya, mate. Good to see you. That is our furthest viewer. Welcome. I'm sure. Even when oh god, I can't remember where the other guy. Anyway, we do get
Australia.
some. Yeah, Australia's about as far as it goes, but New Zealand's further, isn't it? So
Yeah.
oh blimey, I'm going to whiz through a few of these because we want to get into some other things. Peter says next week I'm assembling Perry's early Saxons and Perry early Prussians. They do look sweet. I have to say, pretty much everything the Perrys do just looks really, 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 really good.
That's because it is.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting. It's like when they release, you're on
Quality.
safe ground.
Yes. You know
That's
it's going to be
the
good.
We got Alec. Hiya, mate. How you doing? He says, hi, guys. Good. We're going to have a game on Friday, Alec and I, and a couple of other guys. We're going to play some shot practice. Yeah, can't beat a bit of shot practice over Zoom. Joshua says, wanted to start a Dark Ages Irish force for some time now. Tempting. Well, hang around to the end, or near the end, when I remember to put it up. There'll be a code where you can go along and get some of those sweet-looking V&V. They look absolutely awesome. What else we got? Well, before we go any much further, let's do some of the stuff we've seen this week in the news, and then we can get back to a few more chats. Because otherwise, it's going to just be a solid wall of chats.
Yeah.
What anything anyone's seen? I mean, I think the big piece of news I saw today, which I think anybody will be not in the slightest bit surprised. Oops, let me get rid of that comment. How do I get rid of that first? Sorry.
Click off the comment. That's right, I'll do it. There you go.
Thank you. Salute 2021 has been delayed officially. Not really surprised, of course, with the fact that the Excel Centre where it's held is a Nightingale hospital. So the chances of actually being able to put a show on in April, 0. Because even if COVID is under control by then, it's got to be turned back into an exhibition centre at some point. So they're talking about now November 13th for the show, which is interesting because there's a hell of a lot of shows around that time in November. I think the 2 weeks later is Warfare at Reading, which is in Ascot Racecourse this time. And there's a couple of other big shows up north, up your part of the world, Steve. It got me thinking because at the end of the show last week, when we'd gone off air, we all had a bit of a chinwag about shows, and I thought it'd be interesting to have the conversation with the punters and everybody watching on the stream is about whether you would want to go to a show this year. if it came up. And it was about 50-50, wasn't it, between us about who would go and who wouldn't go.
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you think, Martin? I mean, I think you were one that you weren't terribly comfortable about going to.
No, it's not. You know, it's not even really it's all right. Let's face it, right? When you go to Salute, it's great. I like meeting up with people, chatting people. I like talking to vendors. I like giving games a try and demo games. So it all depends how that's going to be managed. Now, the thought of, you know, I don't know about yours. I do wear masks. I have to wear them at work all the time. I don't enjoy wearing them. They're stifling, and you know, I don't understand how people can wear them all day who have to wear them all day. You know, like sort of nurses or Hayley, for example, she has to wear one all day. So the thought of walking around the Excel Centre in like an IKEA-like queue with loads of war gamers with big bags and you know. You said that, not me. Just shuffling a lot. It all depends on how it's going to be managed. But also, if they're not, it all depends. Are they still going to have the participation games? How is that going to work? And otherwise, is it just a glorified shopping trip? I want to meet up with everybody, but I would rather wait till restrictions are lifted and go and have a meetup like CrackCon and have games like that. However, if it by then, obviously, if the restrictions are lifted and you know, all the traders, are they going to have the same number of traders? Can they have the same number of traders? Or how are they going to do stores? Because are you going to still have to socially distance at the front of the store? You're not going to have everyone cramming in on each one.
Limit the spaces into the Excel Centre. Know and they always have other shows running at the same time. The other halls are full. So how is that going to work? I would just like to know. I would if they could. It's not really to do with how they're going to manage COVID. Well, obviously, it is how they're going to manage it. But I just wonder if those restrictions that they may have to put on for insurance purposes would just get in the way of me enjoying myself. Basically,
it's a fair point. It's a really fair point, and I think it's difficult to know. I mean, November's thankfully quite a long way away. It may be that there's some degree of normality out there, but from everything they're saying, we're going to have some kind of restriction still running, whatever happens through this year. So, and I think it's a valid point. And would you really, if it's not proper Salute, would you still go? Or would you go? I know, Ken, we know the answer from you because you go to an opening of a brown paper bag. Oh, you won't open them, will you? No, forgot that. No. So what? You just go anyway, wouldn't you? But you're. I mean, without going huge details, you're one of the people that sort of are more at risk. So why would you do it without even worrying about it?
I work every day outside. I've come into contact with hundreds of people. I had a COVID test today because I had to go into a care home to fix a fault. And that was negative. But I've been working throughout the whole time, and I've just been sensible, being safe, and just keeping people on their toes. Really, I'm just some people get a bit complacent. It's like I had someone today actually. It's quite interesting. I was sat in my van right outside this care home because you got to wait 30 minutes for a rapid test. We can go in, so I had to wait for it to come back, and I just for some reason I locked my door. I don't know why. It's not because it's unsafe or anything like that. I just locked it. And I wasn't paying attention, and someone come up and tried to open my driver door next to me to talk to me.
Weird.
Outside a care home with COVID going on. And I was like, what are you doing? Sort of thing. So, but do you know what I mean? It's just trying to think about other people not thinking.
I mean, that is the thing. I mean, like I say, it's not. I mean, I work outside all the time, and I worked all through it, and it's not really a case because I know I can look after myself. I would trust you guys, and I would trust the people I was with. I have no problem with that. It's just like, is that just going to get in the way though?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. In all honesty, I just want bargains. I want that bring and buy. Damn it. I want that bring and buy.
So Ken's just going for the shopping trip. What about you, Steve? What do you say?
Shopping trip.
There's a couple of factors. One, I'm tremendously antisocial. I don't like being around people.
CrackCon's going to be great.
Come meet Steve if he turns up.
It's a fair old trek down there. If it was to go to Salute, I don't know. I'm like Martin. I just think for the sake of having a pleasant convention or what have you, if it's got to be delayed until such a point where, like I said, walking around somewhere like IKEA for 6 or 7 hours with a mask on, surrounded by a heaving mass of gaming people, would I find that pleasant? Probably not. And I wouldn't want to invest all that time and energy going to a place and then be deeply annoyed with what was going on. So I agree with my learned friend there. It's a no for me.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? I mean, I think I certainly felt that I would go. I wouldn't have a problem going, but I think Martin's right. Would it be the same experience? And I think actually in the time frame they're talking about, I'd rather go to
CrackCon.
CrackCon, but whichever one. I always forget which way around it is, Colours or Warfare, whichever. Warfare. Isn't it, November, because I love Warfare. I think it's a great show, and it's also much more local for me. So I would probably go with that. But Carl makes the point. As a trader, I really want to get back to doing shows, but on a personal safety note, I'd rather wait till next year. I think that's a fair point.
We'll soon see, won't we? Because you never know how many people we get vaccinated, and if enough people are vaccinated, so imagine if the government actually do something right for a change and actually vaccinate 95% of the population this year up till November, then we're all laughing, aren't we?
They won't get rid of the masks. They won't get rid of the masks. The insurance will be horrendous.
I think whatever happens, it's going to be a limited access to the show. You'll get a lot of people who just won't go, so numbers will be down anyway. But I think also capacity will be limited.
It is a hard one. It is, because obviously you want to support traders and you want to. I want to meet up with people. I want to play games, but I want to do that also in a nice atmosphere.
JP says he's definitely going to Partisan and Warfare. Yeah, fair enough. Rogue Trooper says roll on CrackCon. Yeah, I think we all like that. Peter says I like Colours as a meet. Yeah, Colours is all right. I preferred it when in the old days, I have to say. But there you go. Colours for 30 years, says Leslie. Remember when it started as Armageddon? Yeah, I remember those days too, mate. But we're old, so that's the problem. Days says, being new to the hobby, I'd like to go to a convention. I'm in Edinburgh, and other than Claymore, there isn't much else here in the Scotland area. I don't know. There are any more shows actually in Scotland. Don't really know. Not my area of expertise, I'm afraid. We got Wardrobes in the house. Hi, mate. He says, good
Hello.
Watching tonight. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Yeah.
And we've got Travis is here. Hiya. He's in
Hello,
here.
mate.
Yeah, Travis.
He must be on his lunch break. That's when he usually watches, I believe.
Bloody hell, Tom. There's 58 people watching.
Yeah, we got 58. I think we got something like that. Saying to me,
Wow.
Hamster says Falkirk. Is that where you are? Is that where a show is?
Yes, Falkirk's place.
Yeah, I know the place. But yeah. Thank you, Ken.
I don't know, mate. You're not a geography guru.
Tabletop Sushi says a heaving mass of gaming people. What is that? Yeah, good point. I mean, we don't know what it is, isn't it? I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to get too serious about this. It's everyone has their views. We'll have to make the decision. We got a long time to wait. Chris says, good evening, everybody. He says, hi, everybody. Good stuff. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you. So what else have we seen this week? Any news?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We know what we've seen.
Have we?
Oh, yeah. That's what it's all about.
It's gone back to... We're back to bloody Napoleonics.
Give me some of that Austrian goodness. Give me some of that goodness. Look at that. You get a metal mini if you get 3 boxes. Who wouldn't do that?
Have you painted? You haven't painted the stars yet, have you?
I painted 2 trumpeters, if that helps.
So no.
I'll tell you what, you wouldn't be getting excited about hussars if you painted them, mate. I can tell you that.
I don't know. You boys say that, right? But I quite enjoyed doing the gold piping. I quite enjoyed it.
It's not the pipe. You don't.
What is it?
He's going to paint them now, and it doesn't matter if he hates them. He'll just say, "No, I didn't hate it." Even he'll switch the stream off and be rocking backwards and forwards, scratching his eyes.
Yeah,
Even the mention of it. It's because you know that it's because remember before last week when we were talking about it, we said there's just a lot of parts to cavalry. Yeah, you got the horse, you got the saddles, you've got the lining, you've got the uniforms, you had the lances. On this, you've got 2 extra parts to the uniform on top of the other uniform that they're wearing already. So you've got to do the piping, but then you have to paint a separate little piece to stick on afterwards because you can't stick it on and paint it beforehand. You have to paint it separate, I think, because otherwise it doesn't. It's just
you don't
too
know
hard.
you don't know these new Perry kits, though, do we? We don't know what they're going to look like.
I think they've already put out the frames. They've already seen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like the British Hussar pack, and it's just they look cool. They do look cool. They're crap in game, but they do look cool. But if I was going to give you genuine advice, right, I would buy 1 box. See how you get on, because there's 14 in a pack.
Yeah.
I think Peter says it very well here. Ken is about to learn a hussar lesson. I think he's right. I think you're right.
It's a thing for me because I've decided I've sold Dom my British, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dom's got my British stuff coming in the post from my black powder set, and he's also got a few extras from Victrix stuff. But I'm going Austrian for my my other army. I'm going Austrian. I quite like doing the Italians because I like the white, and I think I can do them really quickly. I know they're going to be bigger units. Don't get me wrong, but I'm quite excited about it because I'm liking the idea of the helmets and doing some border guards and Landwehr, and I'm looking forward to it because it's just one of those things. And just they brought out some more cavalry. And I haven't got any French. I'm not going to buy any French Hussars. I'm not going to have any French Hussars at all. I'm not going to do it.
I haven't done it either, just because I painted the Hanoverian ones, and I never want to paint
them. It's not that. I just, even if I don't enjoy painting it and I want the unit, I'll just do it because I want the unit. I won't not paint it. If I can get something unique. See, that drives me more because I know people don't like painting them, and they probably won't have them. And that's what makes me interested in it more. If that makes sense, less people are likely to have them, so you're less likely to face them. And when people see you've actually painted them, it's like, oh, something a bit different. If that makes sense.
If they were good in game, I could get that.
Yeah, even if they're crap, I just like the look of it.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So Nick Game says, can they be used as Russian hussars? I think they probably can.
It can be, but they're doing Russians.
Yeah,
they're going to be
Russians
Russians.
as well.
Yeah, we had the lowdown on that, didn't we, from Michael Perry?
We did indeed. Hopefully we can get them back on soon. They did say they're coming back on. I fell in love with them. I know Martin did as well with these things. I don't know how I'm going to use them, but
you and me both. I mean, but Dom, you see, I have to, because I've already got a French army, so I've got to do the Prussians. So what are you going to do?
That's tricky, isn't it? I could possibly get away with French on that one. I don't know.
They are nice.
I like the German artillery. That's far better. Prussian.
Oh yeah.
See the crump.
Yeah, they are nice. I mean, it might be worth. You can get that rule set, that Eagle of Empires, as a PDF. So it might be worth I think it's only about 10 quid as a PDF. Yeah. So it might be worth getting that, which is skirmish level. Having a look at that. I know, obviously, black powder does go into the Franco-Prussian, but I don't think I've seen anywhere example statistics for anything, unless they haven't got it in the book either. Yeah. But
I'm kind of hoping that our friends from Lard Island might actually do some rules for it, because the other week Rich was sort of hinting at it a bit, wasn't he? He sort of said he was interested in the 1870 period and what have you. So you never know. A
lot of people were excited about the idea of a Lard ECW. I think Miller nearly fell off his seat.
You can get them on. There is a magazine, one of their Christmas magazines, where there is a set of rules for it for sure. So a couple of Kickstarters I saw, which might interest a few people out there. I do like a Kickstarter. How about that one? French Indian War miniatures from Futsal, and I believe this boat as well.
They do. Oh, boats.
Which could be kind of boats. Dear. Which is starting on the 19th of February, apparently. is when that one is kicking off. And another one, another Baron Wars. Baron Wars 3. Yeah, it's coming in March, I believe.
Dom's going to order that then.
Well, I don't know what's in it exactly.
Yeah, you will. You'll order it.
I probably will. The villagers and buildings, I think they're in that. From what
should we say we may have?
You can give you a little bit of news. Go on then.
In the next few weeks, I've just got to sort out a date. We may have Mr. Andy Hobden, Saw Miniatures, to talk about Baron's War and obviously other things to do with Footsore. So just got to sort that.
That will be sweet. That will be sweet. Yeah, Joshua's the same. He says, Franco-Prussian War from Perry is so exciting, my bank balance is trembling. Yeah, I hear you, mate. I absolutely hear you. That's definitely going to be a winner for me. There was another point here. Oh my goodness, so many questions flying. There are so many points going. Oh, here we go. Lionheart said there's a new Giants in Miniatures of Hannibal from Wargames Illustrated.
Yeah, you sent that to me, didn't you?
I didn't keep the picture. I should have kept it. But so those are the limited edition they produced. Is it 500, I think? And then they break the mold. So that's it. There's no more produced. So it's a really sweet figure. It's a bit expensive, but it's it literally is going to be one of only a few figures out there. So I think we're pretty much, there's lots of comments going on about things we're talking about, so I won't go through all of them.
Carl's just said Avonpost do Napoleonic Russians as well, don't they?
Oh, God, they do look good. God.
They are. They don't just look good, Dom. They are the M&S of the category.
they've just released it. Yes, they've just released those, haven't they?
I have actually got some. I did get some of his ECW. Well, I think they're 30-year war stuff, and they're actually really nice. I have to say. I'm going to have a special assault unit in my English Civil War army just of them because they do look so cool. Right, so crikey, we've gone nearly an hour already through this. So I was going to ask the question that Peter's little question of the week came up. He hasn't given us one for a while because we've been so busy with guests and other things. And I thought this was a cracker. So he said, in light of us all being aware of using the world's resources, what do you think metals or plastics can be replaced or banned? Remembering that plastic has a high oil content and lead oil alloys are in theory not that healthy. So basically, it's a green question. Is the hobby going to be hit by problems around? I know there's already a lot of problems with supply of resin and plastic for some of the manufacturers. So is any kind of changes through kind of green regulations going to change? What do you reckon, Steve? You look like a man who has an opinion on that.
What does that mean?
Because he sat forward and he paid attention, unlike you kids.
I'm trying to put frog on it.
What that reminded me of was a couple of videos that Leon did last year, and it was cardboard figures. So it was like ranks and ranks of cardboard figures, and I thought that looked really, really good. I know it probably wouldn't. I'd be super, super annoyed, if miniatures started to disappear solely because of what they were made from. And I'm pretty sure there's big brains out there that would be able to, come up with some new product or material or
bamboo.
something.
Bamboo. It's very
bamboo.
Yeah, honestly, bamboo. Plastic. Right. Okay. Look at cups. Thermal insulated cups. Plastic. Yeah. Right. I've had a bamboo one of those, and to me, I couldn't even tell the difference. It was plastic. It was a hard structure. It's hard. It's solid. Bamboo, mate. Give it a go.
It's all right.
Why not?
There we go. Bamboo is your answer. There you go. We don't need to
bamboo.
Go any further.
I mean, I'm short of whittling my own figures out of dry soap. I'm really not sure.
I mean, I think to be honest, there's if you think about it, back in the day, figures were made with lead, proper lead, and that's been removed. Different alloys have been used. I mean, some are better than others. So I guess they'll just find a different way of doing it. But it's an interesting one. I don't know. I mean,
What happens if we find a material that we can use that's even better detailed than plastic? There you go. What about that? Because who said that, who thought plastic for lead miniatures back in the day? Just time's evolved, doesn't it? This marketplace ain't going nowhere. If there's money to be made, it ain't disappearing.
Nope, that's for sure.
Simple as. If there's money to be made, it ain't disappearing. And by Games Workshop's latest figures, there's money to be made.
Rogue Trooper says back to wooden figures. Yeah, probably. Probably. Becca's is in the house. Are you, mate? It says Leon had those acrylic figures.
Yeah, I looked at those. I think they were a bit. I can't remember if they were the right ones. I looked at. I can't remember what they were, but they did look sweet.
And Chris makes the point: you have to cut down trees to make cardboard and wooden figures. That's very true. That's not the greenest thing in the world, is it? There you go. And Leslie, in his usual wit, comes in and says, "Ken, looking forward to seeing Stalingrad finish with bamboo."
Cheers, Leslie.
Carbon fiber
at some point.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Oh my goodness, look at you started now. Jeez, I don't know. It's an interesting one, and I don't know whether it's a big issue but it does worry me a little bit more about actual supply of. Some manufacturers I've noticed that there was a Kickstarter that I was following hadn't actually bought into, and they were talking about. Oh no, it was your guy who did the 6mm samurais. He was saying he was having real trouble getting hold of the resin to build the walls for his terrain features.
That's shipping, isn't it? I have my shipping email for that.
Oh, have you? Yeah, I haven't had that through yet. No, must be any time soon. So I think like Ken wisely says, not talking about bamboo now. I think the things move on and materials will. You look at how figures have changed over the last few years. How many different periods, different sort of substances are used to make figures.
Imagine if we could do it in glass. Glass. You can get a lot of detail in glass.
Good grief.
You know what I mean? Everyone's got to think outside the box, isn't it? There's a lot of sand. There's a lot of sand.
You're back to your sand again, aren't you? But you're going to be using it for your Victory at Sea table, I thought.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what. I'm not going to lie. I am very much enjoying painting those shit. I don't know what it is. It's just something different, I guess, than painting 24 men at once and trying not to cry. Soon to be painting 36.
That's it. You just need something sometimes. It's why I paint. I really like things like like Moonstone or other games. The one that Carl kind of gave me, or Star Wars game, or God Tier, where you have
Lord of the Rings, isn't it? Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Just do something in between that, just to sort of like a palette cleanser.
Oh yeah.
This is why this land snakes. This has been such a complete departure from what I'd normally paint. I think that's why I'm enjoying it so much, because it's just so completely from left field from what I'd normally be doing.
I would say though, Steve, people would probably do that the other way round. They'd be painting the land snakes and thinking, fucking hell, I need a break. So I'll go for the judge. not the other way around, but yeah.
Oh, Jesus. But I think the final word has to go to Stoic Steve. Couscous miniatures. There you go. That's the answer.
Couscous.
That's it. Solved
Yes.
It. Couscous. The only way to do it.
Goodness me.
Anyway, I think it's an interesting one, I have to say. But anyway, less of that. So the subject this week that I proposed for the stream this week was around history in the model, and history in the hobby. And I know, Martin, you've done a lot of videos mentioning the history around things, and actual pure history videos, which I think go down pretty well. One of my recent ones I talked about, was around the Cleve Bergs, and talked a lot about the history of formations. I know Steve's done it and Ken's done it as well. But do you have to be into history to be into historical wargaming? Or is it just gaming? What do you reckon? It's going to take it.
Nice. I'll go.
Go on then.
You buy.
Do I think you have to be into history for historical wargaming? I'd say no, because I know people who are not into history who play historical wargames, because they saw bolt action and they don't know a thing about World War II. They probably couldn't even tell you who was on what side, but they were like, "What army haven't you got?" And Japanese. So they went and bought a Japanese army just so they could join in. they enjoy the game. They're fun. I asked them, have you? Because if that was me, I'd start researching even if I wasn't researching it beforehand. If I started painting it, I would start wanting to know more. He just followed the guide on the box, and I said to him, do you know what tanks you want? He went, yeah, I just want that one that's on the picture. It's like, oh yeah, no, that one's quite, that one did well. I think I said that one's quite shit. I think was the the answer is no, but I think you would get more out of it if you do. I think history's obviously it's I think history's fantastic, and with the Wars of the Roses stuff I'm trying to expand and so you can get more out of the game and painting the figures and seeing what you can do with them other than just spraying them all silver, and then a wash. But so my answer would be no, you don't have to be, but if you are, you'll get a lot more out of it, and it'll be much more fulfilling.
So what do you reckon, Steve? Can you get the most out of the hobby if you don't really like the history?
No, I agree with Martin. I mean, there's nothing to say you have to be. And if you're just a gamer, you enjoy the game, you enjoy the mechanics, you enjoy throwing dice down with your friends, more power to you. You can certainly do that. But I'd agree with Martin in that you're missing a large section of what for me, it's all about immersion in the hobby. And reading the history, finding a unit or a regiment or a character that you like throughout history. I think that element, if you're not interested, I mean, like I say, no problems not being. Some people just aren't interested in history per se. I just think you're missing out on a lot of the sort of immersion and the in-depth side of your hobby. I don't think I could be as passionate about bolt action the way I am if no interest in World War II. I think it'd feel more like a chore for me. I don't know why. It's probably the wrong way to describe it. But for me personally, having that background and having the research and finding out about different battles and conflicts, that for me is a major part of the hobby. And again, one of the reasons why I really playing bolt action.
Can I make an analogy? Actually, I've just thought of one in my own life that actually it's just I don't like football, right? It's not I don't like football. I don't know anything about it. Yet when it comes to internationals now, I'll gladly go with my friends, sit and watch a game, and I'll have a great time. I ain't got a clue what's going. Like I know how to play football, obviously, and I enjoy watching the games. But when it comes to the teams and the players,
what the offside rule is, you wouldn't have a clue.
Offside, you Burke. But when it comes to the deeper parts of it, which they obviously get a lot of enjoyment out of, talking about how much players are worth, what teams they've played for, how much they're going for, I'm lost completely, and it doesn't interest me. But I'm quite happy to sit and go and watch a game and take part in that social aspect of it.
Yeah.
So then, Ken, how does that work then? Because if people are really into history and they think that's important to enjoy the game, then how do you get around that fact that a lot of the games we love playing are not exactly the most historically accurate, and there's a certain amount of cheese element in some game systems and ability to sort of play the system. So how does that balance up, do you reckon? I'll give you that tough one.
Oh yeah, you have your git. I think the question is, obviously we all know how if people who know history understand how conflicts were fought. So, for example, World War II, we understand the section like atmosphere and things. So, like we play bolt action, don't we? It's not the most realistic set of rules that you would see on a game, but there are realistic sets of rules that you can play. And I think wargaming does cater for both. If you want a cheese game, like something that's a bit more laid back and a bit quicker and flowing. But on the same token, if you want a game that is complete opposite and you want to, what's the word? Just go to town on like realism. What is that noise?
No. Don't know. I can't hear anything, mate.
No, I could hear it real bad. It's not me. 2 secs. I'll find out who it's coming from. That's going to really annoy me.
All right, while we're looking at this, we've got Leslie says, no, you Carl says no, but it helps.
It's Martin.
It's Martin, is it? Oh, not again. Joshua says it helps, but by looking at bolt action arms, it isn't necessary, lol, or common. No, exactly right, mate. It really isn't. I did see. Oh God,
There is literally nothing here.
no.
Just does like a Hoover.
Becca says you'd say no. Lots of no's. I'm actually surprised. A lot of people would say yes. It has to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
anyways-
In all honesty, I think for some people like myself, I can't sit there and read a whole historical book like you lot do. I just can't do it. I haven't got the patience or the concentration. But I'll listen to it. I'll listen to that book.
But the thing is, you get passionate. I know what you're like with anything like this. You get, it's like you read into, or you start playing a game. I mean, you didn't really know an awful lot about Napoleonics, did you, before you started?
Nah, absolutely nothing.
So you've gone, full Monty, full bent into it, and looked up a lot of stuff, read a lot of stuff. So clearly that interests you. So you're into the hobby. And
Yes,
you, I'd say.
Yeah. It's like finding things. It's like links to the Italians and stuff like that. Finding websites where people gather all this data and stuff like that, and then you find out some really cool stuff. It just interests the hell out of me, really.
I mean, I think Joshua is the same as most of us. I think he says researching is a big part of the hobby for me, but I'm a sad history student. Well, I'm a history student too, mate, and I agree with you. I love it.
I did history. I did history GCSE. I didn't do it at A level because I was hoping to join the police, so I didn't need to do it. But if I wasn't, I would 100% done history, 100%. And I've probably gone down the line like Martin, done something like archaeology or stuff like that. That's something, or it probably would have been archaeology. I would have gone down that line if I wasn't going to do that. But then technology got involved and reasons with life, and you just divert, don't you? And you go to different places. I've ended up doing what I'm doing now, but I would have definitely gone down something that Martin would have done, 100%.
I've got a history degree.
I just think like you said, the research side for me is I don't know where it's just the way my brain's wired up, but I'll be reading a book about World War II, and I'll read about a particular battle or a particular unit or regiment and think, could I do that in bolt action? Could I make them? It's like last year when I was reading a book about Monte Cassino, and halfway through reading the book, I sat down and made myself some Monte Cassino Fallschirmjäger because I was so inspired by the book. It's just something I wanted to try. And for me,
don't they, Steve? Films do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I just think, the research, the background, going through books. I mean, Dom, look at the work you put into your Cleveberg.
And your Latvians.
I think that goes a long way for me, it just expands the hobby. In fact, that's really just, I responded to a comment today from one of my videos. But this dude was saying how his bolt action British were based on a specific British regiment, and he'd done all the research and where they fought and ended up in Con fight against the SS. I thought, how much more interesting is that than just sticking a generic army on the table and saying, these are just some dudes. Where you can say, no, these are based on this regiment and they fought here and they did this. Just for me, it just adds so much hobby.
Does that though? Is that where the real question is? You come down to the difference between you said a hobbyist and a gamer, because for some people these are just gaming pieces. That's it. They're just gaming pieces and that's it.
And that, I think that's the nub of the question, really, isn't it? You're right, Martin. It's are you do you just game because it's a game and you just enjoy rolling the dice and the strategic elements and the tactics of that's better than that, and I can get that in that position to beat that. But it could be anything, it could be just counters, it could be whatever. Or are you somebody that just, I mean, can you be both? Is what I'm thinking. Can you be really into the mechanics and the history of a game, history of a period, and be a serious gamer?
I changed the mechanics.
100%. I think you're more serious. I think you're more serious of a gamer if you've got the history part. I think that's just another part of the hobby. You're a hobby hero. if that makes sense. You're a complete hobbyist.
This,
I always found
this-
it hard
yeah.
with you lot. I always found it hard with you lot. Like, you lot read all your stuff, yeah? That's why I love to listen, because I love someone telling me a story and then putting different voices on, especially when I listen to like the Waterloo book by Bernard Cornwell, yeah? When I listen to that, he'll do different accounts and different voices for the different people who are talking and stuff like that, and I just feel like I'm there, if that makes sense. It just makes me feel like I'm there. I've never got that from reading. You lot might get that, but I've never got that from reading. That's why I love listening to it, and it just adds extra goodness, especially when I'm driving in the van. That always helps.
Well, that's
Sorry,
it.
Steve, I interrupted you.
No, I was just going to say it's a bit of a departure from the main question, but when you're on about people investing the time into the hobby, I've heard some horror stories about a particular very, very popular science fiction based tabletop game, which I won't mention. Where there's quite a few people. Yeah, there's quite a few people that they've got no interest in the fluff, the background, no, the actual universe. All they do is play to win, and that's it. And personally, I couldn't do that. I just could not be like that at all. But that's about a bit of a departure from whether it's historical or not. But when you talk about different types of gamers, there's ones that are just clearly, and some don't even paint. They put minimum paints on figures. For them, it's all about being immersed in the mechanics of the game and actually playing to win.
Yeah, no thanks. Don't work with historicals. Sadly, I couldn't play in something like that. That would drive me nuts.
I think Matt Superior says he finds the history behind the games adds more fun for me, as I've enjoyed researching into units and whatnot. But also, I think and whatnot. But I think also you don't need to play. You need to enjoy the games for the minis and the.
I've always found it like. I've always found, I don't know if you were going to say this, Martin, earlier, or if someone was going to say it, but if you play somebody that likes the history, they don't give a shit if they win or lose. They're just happy to play.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise, I would have thrown my Ionics away a very long time ago.
See, I don't necessarily agree with that, Ken.
No, do you not?
No, I don't. I mean, I know for myself, I love the history of the periods I play, and I
love to win.
Love researching, but I like to win. I mean, it doesn't mean I'd win at all costs, but I
don't know. I've seen you gain those few extra inches with the tape measures.
Don't you start, boy! Don't you start. No, I mean, I think I wouldn't be gamey about it particularly, certainly, but I used to play tournament games back in the day, in Ancients particularly, and it didn't stop me loving the period. But I wanted to smash my opponent and win, whatever it was. I never did. I really enjoyed that competitive side.
Yeah,
of
but
it.
you probably still
And
enjoyed it,
now.
even if you lost, didn't you? Did you enjoy it even if?
But that was the point I was going to make. Is actually I don't mind losing a game if it was a fun game, and I think that's the crossover point. If I've had a really cracking game and with a right laugh around the table and it's been great fun and I've ended up on the losing side, then that's fine. I don't quite mind that.
Especially when your Portuguese don't turn up.
Listen, in sharp practice, they always win with the game. The Brits don't. It's the Portuguese every time.
The only game I've ever really got annoyed at losing would probably be when I was really heavily into X-Wing. I used to hate losing any game of X-Wing because the games are so. I mean, you only play for an hour and you've got very, very limited ships. So lose one ship and make one mistake, and potentially the game's gone. So more often than not, you're blaming your own mistakes on why you lose. But then I'd calm down and think, you know what, it's Star Wars, and then everything will be okay again with the world.
Yeah, Nick Game says if they're not into historical part of it, you will see different models on the gaming table. Like they don't care. A bolt action army with trolls, Smurfits, 40k archers, Napoleon. It's a fact. Yeah, I believe you, mate. Oh, we got Rich in the house. Hey, mate. Nice of you to join us.
Rich.
All right, Rich.
He says
Sorry,
history is a huge part of my hobby, but so is beer with my gaming mates. I'm with you. Both are optional. You don't have to have them in your games, but they're both fun. They both add fun. You're dead
100%.
right, 100%.
I've got to point out here a comment from Ricky Turner. I've made him spend 69 quid in Austria. Sorry, mate. I apologise for that. But you got that free extra metal mini. Michael Perry, if you're watching this, you owe me commission. God, dear, oh dear. I had to show that. Sorry.
Alex says he gets frustrated when something happens in a game which is historically inaccurate, or someone tries a move which is really cheesy and nothing like would happen in real life, just to get the win. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. I do that occasionally. No. I think you're right. It depends, isn't it? I mean, it's how people do things, and some rule systems and the way people really play them can be really very fixed.
Yeah,
we don't have a lot of logic.
Now we get into the realm of simulation versus game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then that's then obviously yes, that would be easier. But then, at what point does it stop being a simulation and it's a game? I think
you can get around that though. Like mine, the simulation to a game is if you wanted like a proper simulation, a proper like keep going on, you could do like a campaign, couldn't you? Because then you've got a reason to act like the historical side of things. You don't want to just lose all your units and stuff like that, do you? So there's a reason for you to actually carry on because you might get bolstered units and stuff. Compared to like where it's just a game where it's just that one throwaway game. So you might not care as much, and you got to think more tactically, maybe.
Yeah, I think link games and campaigns are really good for that, aren't they? Because they do make you play it a bit more like I'm not just going to get this unit completely wiped out because I've got another game coming, and I want to make sure that that
I've still got that regiment. I need that regiment,
Yeah.
And your opponent knows. Oh, actually, if I take that regiment out, you think more tactically, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Some great comments coming. Travis says I was going to make the Stonewall Brigade. Oh, hello. There's a Haley arm coming around. Oh, and a bit of a Haley head. I'm going to make Stonewall Brigade for my ACW Sharp Practice Army. I learned a while back Stonewall Jackson is a distant relative of mine. There you go.
Oh, wow.
I love that kind of thing. That's brilliant.
That's why I enjoy doing these Wars of the Roses units, where I'm picking out individual lords. Because what I see a lot of people doing is they have one lord and then they'll paint up all of the units in his colours. But there were so many. Why can't you? And I just paint them up and mix them in. So have that banner, have that one guy with his couple of retainers. They didn't all have massive households. So a couple of them only bought the squire and one other bloke with them to hold the banner.
But how cool is that, isn't it? That's proper cool. That's the cool thing.
If you want to be historical, medieval battle line was filled with banners. It didn't just have like one or two or three. It was absolutely filled with pennants and banners and all sorts. So that's what we're doing, the research into all of these people. It's like, how can I not make one up about this geriatric guy who's fighting his way from Agincourt to Tewkesbury?
That was brilliant. That was. I love that story. It's fantastic. But that's what brings it to life, isn't it? Exactly.
How respectful is that, though? That you're still hundreds of years later taking account of what that one person did. You know what I mean? It's appreciating history.
One of his descendants got in touch with me, watched a video.
Really?
Yeah. So I've been having a chat with him, which was quite cool. But the other things, just on that, complete your sheet. I don't know if you ever heard in that video, but I mentioned he had a brother, who died. Funny that, isn't it?
All the roses,
all the roses, isn't it?
But I did research into him, and he was referred to as Black Vaughan because of basically they considered him quite a bastard. There's this legend that his ghost still haunts the place where he's buried, and you can go and look this up.
I thought you were going to say you can go there, just so you can stand there and wait for him.
Well, people do,
and
he still haunts his village where he's buried. And there's all these accounts in the post-medieval period. His tomb is in the church, basically in the post-medieval period, they started holding seances, and apparently his ghost turned into the form of a black bull and raided the church, and they eventually trapped his soul in a box and put it underneath a pond and buried it, and it's still there. But it's actually he turned into a dog as well, and he's the inspiration for the Hounds of the Baskervilles.
Bloody hell. Maybe you should go and dig the pond up, Martin, and find the box.
That's quite cool.
I love that kind of story. That's
Conan
brilliant.
Doyle basically heard the story and then started to work on it. That was one of his inspirations behind that. Sorry, I know that's a complete departure.
You've completely sent it off, but we'll get it back on track. This is Martin, somebody after your own heart. Benjamin says, "Winning, what's that?" There you go. I think we're referring to winning at all costs in games. Simon's in the house. Hi, mate. Hey, good to see you. You're coming in on a very, very long discussion that's gone on. It's been good, actually. It's been quite fun. Oh, crikey. This thing's going through too quickly.
We're back in 2 secs. I've got to go varnish some miniatures.
Oh, my goodness. Lanchnick, there's a man after your own heart, Steve. Lanchnick says, I tend to play Western shootout games, Hollywood style. Yeah, so not an awful lot of historical accuracy there. That was a fairly brutal time too, so you never know. I don't know. Carl says, I never win either, so it doesn't bother me. I just like looking at the cool minis on the table. Yeah. Well, it's a visual game, isn't it? Let's be honest. That's half.
I like having painted armies. That's why I like having painted armies. So when I lose, I don't care because I'm looking at it and thinking my army's painted and yours isn't.
Yeah, it's true. It's but I think it's an interesting one, isn't it? And I think people can go the other way, though, clearly. We've all fallen foul. Well, I know I have, and I know Ken has, fallen foul of some of the people on some of the forums who are really, really into their history at all costs, and can be a little bit of hard work around the hobby itself. But I think
I'll win them round, Dom. I'll win them round.
Yeah, I'm not sure you will, mate. I'm not sure you will.
No,
but yeah, I think it's fascinating. I do think so. Oh, blimey, there's some. Sounds like Travis and somebody else having a bit of a punch up over their ancestors out here.
Oh God.
We got Marshall Ney says my seventh great grandfather was Robert E. Lee's uncle.
Oh wow!
Bloody hell! And Alex says Tabletop CP. I must play you then. I'm related to William T. Sherman. I didn't know that, Alex. I didn't know that. And then Travis says, "Oh yeah, it sounds like a grudge." That I'd love to see. Fight!
Yeah. see the name. See the comment of the name above, Dom. The name of the commenter.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just saying. Yeah.
Hey, Steve, man after your own heart. There,
I know.
Yeah. He says he was talking about his Western games, and I said they weren't the most. They were pretty brutal. He said historically shootouts were mainly shooting people in the back in ambushes. Yeah, that's exactly right. They're not the glorified thing we do on the table anymore. Talking of that, did you see Black Scorpion have got a bit of a sale on at the moment as well? You get a free figure when you buy some stuff from them, and they do those beautiful Western figures. Really, really good.
That.
Really.
I have got some more cavalry to do as well.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, so old guard there.
What are they?
They are lancers.
God, lancers. I did the Cleveland.
Mine, which ones were you doing again? Were you going to do Dutch or Polish?
Doing Dutch.
I'll do Polish then. Polish. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing the red lancers.
Yeah, I'll do Polish then. I'll do some Polish ones.
I got my, but they're fascinating as well. That's another thing. Again, I didn't know a lot about it, so I got a book and started reading. It's like I need to make these guys as a unit.
Yeah, the Dutch ones did. To be fair, the Dutch ones did sound pretty cool, but I like the idea of the Polish because they're blue, aren't they? So yeah. I was like, yeah, a bit of blue, break it up a little bit, make it a bit different, you know. But yeah, no, I've got them to do. I've got another box of Chasseur Cheval down there, but I can change the heads, can't I, to make them for the old guard, like Grenadier Cheval or something like that. So they've got like a specific type of light cavalry, but unique to the old guard. And I was thinking I was thinking about it because in this Victrix kit, you've obviously got the Polish heads, you've got the Dutch heads, and I think there's another type as well. Or the Dutch heads might be the same. What are the ones with the plumes on? Are they any different?
Well, those aren't those Lancers. They are guard, aren't they? Those Lancers.
Yeah, they are specifically. Yeah. Yeah, so I could just use the other heads on the chassis of Ral, can I? Possibly. I'll have a look.
I think their uniforms might have been a lot more fancy. I don't know. It depends on how. I wouldn't have a problem with that, but depends.
Yeah. No, true. I'll think about it. I'll have a look. I've looked at these.
I have them on my table, so they're not 100% accurate. Sorry, mate. That's it.
No, I know what you're saying. I would like them to be more thingy, but I'm just trying to think what else I could do, and just do obviously depending on when I base it. So if I go 18, I don't know, 1810, 1812 sort of period. Sweden, what side were they on at that point? Were they neutral at the minute at that
Sweden?
time?
In what date are you talking about?
About 1810, 1812.
I think at that period they were probably neutral.
Yeah, I was going to say they might be neutral, mightn't they?
They fought the Russians early on, and then they came in on the Allied side for the Leipzig campaign.
Yeah, because he went neutral, didn't he, Marshal? Oh, what's his bloody name?
Bernadotte.
Yeah, Bernadotte. That's it. He went neutral, did he? He took it well serious, didn't he? He said, "Get stuff Napoleon," basically, didn't he? I don't give a shit.
If you think so, the history of him is just outstanding. So he was a I can't remember where he came from, but he was very poor background. He made his way through. One of the people who survived the whole French Revolution, was kind of on a par with Napoleon and vied for sort of authority. And I think he was always a bit put out by Napoleon getting in charge. And he wasn't the best general. A couple of times he cocked up rather a lot. And then he was invited to be king of Sweden.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And so he went over there to be king of Sweden. And he
took it well serious, didn't he?
He did. And I think Napoleon went, okay, go over there thinking, oh, he'll be a useful ally. And then he went neutral. And then he joined the allies against. And actually, they say that he was responsible for the Allied victory of the Leipzig campaign because he told them, wherever Napoleon is, fight defensively, try and avoid a combat, and wherever his marshals are, fight. And that's the strategy they employed because basically Bernadotte said, don't fight Napoleon, fight his marshals, and it worked. But he also had a tattoo in him which said "Death to Tyrants," which I always thought was hilarious. There you go. And his ancestors still are kings of Sweden.
How cool is that?
That is fantastic. There you go. That's history all over it.
Haven't you got a Swedish force, Dom?
I have in a box somewhere. It's going to be painted at some point.
Yeah,
soon.
I was going to say you've got one. Yeah, it'd be nice to see.
I've always been fascinated by the Swedish and the Napoleonic period. I don't know why. I have no reason why. There's no
it's unique.
there.
It's unique.
I think that's it. It's just the difference. Something a bit different.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. That's what I did with my chasseurs. That's what I did them with the yellow because I know a lot of people won't do the yellow because they don't like yellow. Who likes painting yellow? Let's be honest.
Ken, I've just painted yellow.
Oh,
this chap's got a nice yellow thing.
It looks like He-Man or what? Stretch Armstrong
or Banana Man.
It was bloody horrible to paint. I tell you that. I didn't enjoy that. These are quite possibly my most colourful ones yet. I'm going. These are just awful looking. They really are a bit out there.
I would love to have been a fly on the wall when you were painting those for the first time, Steve, because I can imagine you just sort of painting away and thinking, "Oh my god, these colours!" And it doesn't really come. None of them really come together until you put those washes on and start highlighting things, do they? I mean, but you must have been like, "Oh my god, this is it's so bright."
So what I'm doing? I started off painting 1 and then 2, and now I'm painting 4. So I'm kind of building. See if I can paint more and more and more. So when I painted Napoleonics, I did them in batches of 4, but I was never happy painting them. It was just for me, it was a slog. Just didn't enjoy it. These are so enjoyable painted. I never thought I would enjoy painting things like this.
You're crazy, Steve. You're literally crazy.
I know we keep banging on about it, but I still cannot believe you do it.
I can't understand how you still can't finish those bloody French. I still can't get over that.
Unbelievable.
I think they're my water. They are definitely my Waterloo. Let's put it that way.
Joshua says a yellow thing. You might want to get that checked up, mate. Yeah, I think you're right. And Benjamin says, "Oh my God!" It says death. It said Bernadotte's tattoo was death to kings. I thought it was death to tyrants, but you could be right. Whatever it was very similar. Peter says in 1018 they were neutral. In 1812 they coattailed the Russians. Yeah, exactly.
Am I right? Am I right in saying as well that Napoleon, even though he hated royalty, he liked to be called sire?
Well, he became emperor, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sire, it's like a royal thing again. You know, I'm slating the man himself, but I'm just thinking about it now, and I'm thinking, hang about here. There's a bit of double standard going on here. There's a little bit of double standards.
Do you know what it is? He had small man syndrome.
He did. He did. He did, mate. But he was a brilliant general.
Everyone's a small man compared to you, Steve.
They are.
This is true. This is very true. In fact, I found a photograph at the weekend. I'll send you a bit on the chat that demonstrates just how, compared to my friends, I am.
Well, you stood next to Shaquille O'Neal and you're towering over him, are you? I think I'm just used to it now, though. You missed out on basketball, Steve. You missed out on basketball.
I used to play basketball when I was younger. I used to play basketball.
I bet you bloody did. I bet you're good at it as well. I bet you're good at it.
And then I discovered beer, and then it all went downhill from there. So.
God.
Beer and basketball. God.
How did your varnishing go, Martin? Did you get any ghosting?
No, not at all. So I finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 musketeers. So I'm now sticking together a mortar.
Oh, that's
nice.
Good.
Miller says he's really surprised Ken hasn't done any cuirassiers yet. Yeah, I'm surprised.
I've got 3 boxes of them. They're sat there.
Bloody hell.
I got nothing built yet, so I'm doing my ships, but I will be building some French. So I'll build another unit of cavalry, and I'll build a box of infantry as well at the same time.
Good stuff. Benjamin says Napoleon wasn't really that small compared to people of the time. Yeah, I know he wasn't. He was about average, or just slightly below average, wasn't he? But it was basically because the newspapers called him the small corporal that he got this reputation as small man.
There's things about small corporals, isn't there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they go on to cause all kinds of mayhem.
Yeah, they do. Maybe let's just get rid of that rank.
Something about little shouty people that are corporals.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right, I think before we get too far down that route, shall we again, just to highlight that we're sponsored by Mezza's Minis. You can see the URL on there, mini.co.uk. Check out his he does the V&V miniatures, he does the
should be a link as well, isn't there?
Should be a link. There'll be a link in the chat for the channel. But also, just so for those of you who want to go along and have a look at the channel, we have a discount code to use. So I think we'll show that now, shall we, guys?
Yeah.
Why not? If I can find the damn thing. Here we go. There it is. So different one from last time. So if you use this, if you put PCP Feb into the coupon, you get, I believe, 10% off everything in his store. And not only does he do the 28mm figures, he does some of the bigger ones as well. If you want more sort of display type figures, he does some fantastic ones.
No, I'm trying to resist those 54mm Wars of the Roses ones.
I saw that, and I have no interest in painting that sort of thing. But even I went, oh my goodness, that is seriously nice. Yeah, so get along to Carl's website. We're hiding it now. Look, there we go. Mezzasminis.co.uk. Plug that into the into the coupon, and you get 10% off everything.
It's in the video description as well, isn't
It'll be
it?
in the description. Exactly
Well,
right.
While we're on the prices of URLs, if you enjoy the Plastic Crack podcast, as I know you all do, because you join us on this beautiful Monday night, we now have a Plastic Crack podcast Facebook page. I shall put the link in the comments. We haven't put that in the thingy, have we? No. So we have got we have got a yeah, I'm too quick, mate. Sorry. I'm a bit of a nightmare for you.
Yeah, he's had it on the screen all night. He's been waiting.
Yeah,
just waiting for it. So yeah, if you want to head over there, join. That's where you're going to find the link each week to whoever's hosting. That will be up there. Get your pictures on there of your models. We might put some up the week after and have a little chat about people's miniatures.
Put questions on there.
Yeah, any questions?
Yeah, questions. Show us what you've been doing. Yeah, exactly. Show us what you've been doing. We could show them off on the stream as well. So not saying everything's going to come on, but we'll pick out some ones that we feel people have put some time into, or new to the hobby, and just give them a shout out. Definitely.
And we have got. We can also talk about some of the guests that are coming up on there when we got them all confirmed. We had Rich obviously the other week, which was great, and hopefully he'll come back on at some point. He was in the chat earlier, so hopefully he'll come back on at some point. That'd be great. We mentioned we got Andy Hobday. We also were hoping to have somebody from Warlords on. Unfortunately, they've cried off sick. But we'll get, hopefully later in the year, we'll get somebody on from there. And the Perry twins have also said that they will reappear. But any suggestions on any guests we should go after?
Put them on the Facebook page, innit? Definitely.
Stick it on the Facebook page. And we, can't promise anything, but we can ask. That's all we've been doing, just asking people, and they've been very generous with their time. So it's been brilliant. Hey ho, right. We're any other questions? Did we get Martin? Did you say you had a question or two come in from people?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
I actually got an apology message from.
Well, I ended that quickly.
From Miller saying he was very sorry he didn't think of any questions.
He never lets it.
No, I don't.
I'll tell you what you didn't mention. Did you mention it last week about that English Civil War fort? I can't remember if you did.
Yeah, the one in Erith.
Yeah.
Miller, who I don't know if he did comment on it in the.
He went down there, did he?
Oh no, he didn't go down there. You weren't there. I don't know if you. We set Miller a challenge, which was to make a terrain piece by the time schools go back, because that's an unknown period. So Miller has to make that. He's got to do a video on it. I think I've just made that up, but he's got to do a video on it.
Well, he has to now.
Yeah, he has to now. He's let it slide completely, wouldn't he? And then obviously there'll be an ECW game at CrackCon with that as the centerpiece. There you go.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Yeah, that's perfect.
That takes the stress off my Stalingrad board. Cheers. I've got to worry about that then.
Dear God. Miller says we should get. He said Rich, but then he corrected it. Rick Priestley on.
Yeah.
We would love to get Rick on. I'm trying at the moment to do that.
Yeah.
We'd love to have him on. Mattering Conflict says Henry Hyde from Battle Games. Oh, okay. Interesting choice. I like that idea. Graham says get Travis on. I think we did. I did ask Travis once, but I think the time difference doesn't work for him. It's his lunch break generally, but he's very, very welcome whenever. I know he drops in whenever he can to the chat and what have you. Oh, he's just noticed. There you go. Travis has just said you guys need to make your Facebook group a private group. There you go. We should do really. Otherwise, you get all kinds of funny old people on there. Oh
yeah, that's a good shout actually. Yeah. Yeah,
funny people on Facebook? Never
happens. Benjamin says, what about the guys from War Games Atlantics? Hudson. I'm talking to Hudson actually, so you never know. May do. May do.
I'll tell you what else. Just quickly while we're here, did any of you guys catch Kaiser's new little podcast streamy thing?
Yes, our friend Kaiser. Yeah.
Yes. So from Modelling for Advantage, tomorrow night. They started quite late actually. I was really surprised. 10 o'clock UK time. So I don't know if he's doing it this week. I'm not too sure, but I know last week I watched it. It was an hour long. It was definitely enjoyable.
I watched the replay. It was good fun. Yeah, I didn't understand half of what they were talking about because they were talking a lot of stuff.
No, they're definitely definitely a bit more all around, and they definitely focus on Games Workshop quite a bit. It's definitely more of a Games Workshop thing. But if you like both, then it could be worth having a little poke at. Definitely.
Oh, Miller says there's news on the challenge on Wednesday. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Becca says get on the Perry's back on or Paul Hicks. Yeah, I'd like to get Paul as well. We have got Perry's to say they definitely will come.
We could just stitch Paul Beckus up right a treat here. You could always come on, Paul, if you want.
It's too early in the morning for him.
I don't know. Oh yeah, he's quite. Oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah. God.
We got two. We go. Carl said Bill Thornhill or Paul Hicks would be cool. Some sculptors. Yeah, I'd like to get some more sculptors. We had Dave from Offensive, and he was talking about the whole how he doesn't sculpt himself, but the process of producing miniatures. And I thought it was absolutely fascinating. I'd like to get somebody like that back on again, just to hear what goes on. I know when the Perry's on, they talked a lot about how they got into sculpting and the process they go. I think it's fascinating for us to
spoke about how to do your basic sculpting and stuff like that. So if you want to learn about sculpting, a little bit of sculpting, watch that episode back. 100%.
Yeah, if you look back through the playlist, you'll find the Perry's one. It was really, really good. Very good indeed.
What was that, Mike?
Stuck a magnets to my thumb.
Oh, well done, mate. Very nice. Well done.
Yeah, but the problem is you won't be able to use any of them now because they're all going to be stuck together.
Well, no, I'm not stupid. I managed to set. I'm doing one at a time.
The Baron says you should get other YouTubers on as guests. Well, that's kind of what happened with these two, and they never left.
I know, Christ.
Ken started this, and we invited Martin and Steve on, and they bloody never left.
And they posted on their own as well.
Yeah, outrageous. No, genuinely, we would like to get some other guests on. I think from time to time, it would be interesting to get some other tubers on. We
had Leon on, didn't we?
We had Leon on for a while. Yeah, we did. He came on once. That was good. Good to catch up with him. What else we got? Oh, it's just loads of suggestions. The fellow from Firelock Games. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Pete Berry from Bacchus. That'd be interesting as well. Yeah,
oh, yeah, 6 mil.
You can tell him how your 6 mil project's coming, Ken.
Actually, Martin, I'll have you know, sir, that I was painting some of it this week. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it, sir.
Jesus. So also we've got what about Mel, the terrain tutor? Yeah, that'd be interesting actually, because I think it'd be really interesting to get somebody who talks a lot about the terrain. I know Steve has done an awful lot of stuff with modelling his bases and stuff, but I know Martin, you've done a couple of terrain pieces as well. I think Ken, you set us a challenge which we all singly failed to deliver on, to do some terrain.
Martin did it.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah,
well, me and Steve didn't do it about doing some terrain, but I think it'd be interesting to do some terrain.
I'm currently making a big bunker. Well, I did a video last year. I was using willow just to make a bit of a log bunker. It's quite small. I've actually made a whole. Well, I'll be honest. It's been based on a table mat that I've liberated from the kitchen. Yeah, things don't last long around here.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
I've met Mel, the terrain tutor. Just getting back onto that quickly. He is a nice guy, so it might be worth reaching out to him, see if he wants to come on.
I tried to meet him last year at Colours, but he was walking around, well, not Colours,
with his high vis on, saying I'm filming.
He said, "Don't approach me, I'm filming." So, I spoke to him afterwards in a chat, and he said, "Oh, you should have come along and said hello." And I said, "I didn't want to because you had this bloody thing saying don't talk to me." He said, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." He said, "I wonder why nobody was coming up and talking to me." I said, "Well, that's probably why." But yeah, he does seem a nice guy. So yeah, I think that'd be cool. A big bunker. That's a base for something, isn't it? That's what Rogue Trooper says. Yeah.
Yeah, one sniper.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Mine's Steve. So what you do?
I've got a reputation.
You certainly do. Justified entirely. What are you going to do for special terrain features for your paratroopers? That's what I want to know.
He's going to do a Dakota, isn't he? He's going to do a C-47 of one of them jumping out the bloody door.
I don't know, because when those bases that are made, so I've made some, you can see that, some display bases for the individual teams. So I'm going to eventually do that, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But these are make it's just cork mounted on an old war machine base. But 10 minutes to make, easy to make. But when I start adding other bits and pieces, I want them all based. So all based on cork, basically, is the. But it's all going to be sort of infantry based. There's not going to be any tanks or anti-tank or anything like that. So whether I expand on it, I'm not quite sure at the moment. But yeah, that's the theme: is cork basing.
Cork basing. I like it. They do look good, I have to say. Well, let's go back and breathe them out. Where's the pictures? I'm going to find them again. Just put them back up for those that didn't see them earlier, because they were really sweet. I can't find it. Here we go. There we go. Very, very nice.
I'm going to be doing a video in the next couple of weeks about how I cheat and do the camouflage, because it's dead. It looks like a lot more work's gone into it than I actually have. The way I do it's dead simple to do, but I really like the effects. So I'm going to be doing a video about just showing how I go about painting British para camouflage.
Oh, you tease.
Ooh, nice. Nice. I feel really, really a real cheat in many, many ways, but particularly around basing, because I get loads of comments on my videos about, oh, I do like your basing, and I cheat. I mean, the mine's so simple, and then I see the work you put in on yours, and I think, oh my god, that's just. I mean, literally, mine takes 5 minutes to do, and that's it, and it's done.
These are so they are the way I do it. All it is a bit of cork table mat halved, stuck to the base, bit of grit, and then painted. They look like more effort's gone into them than I have done. It's just I've made so many of them now. I think it's got it down to like a fine art. I just think it sets them off a bit more. Because I'm like I say, I'm more of a. I still see when I was more into having idiot bases like that doesn't bother me. As far as from a gaming perspective, I'd rather have nice figures than win.
Nice. But Carl's got the secret of it. He says that Normandy, all of it, that's what you'll be using for your paras. Probably
it wouldn't surprise me. Steve, do you know what I realised the other day?
No.
Do you know what I realised the other day, Steve?
What?
When I finished painting these ships,
Flat.
I based my ships. They're based already, aren't they?
Oh.
They're based. And I like it.
To be fair, I was a bit not when I first saw them, I thought they look really bad. But once they're painted up, I think they look really fantastic. I just think once the blues on there, I just think they look really, really good.
Changes everything. It really
I
does.
was really critical of them as well. I think we
were, weren't we? We both were.
Really didn't like the look of them because I thought they looked like hovercrafts and what have you. I think they look better with the bigger ships. That's what I want to say. I think they look really, really quite cool with the big ones. But the smaller ships, I'm still not 100%. But then I haven't painted any of mine yet.
Mate, I'll tell you what. When I painted that destroyer, it changed my mind. So I was skeptical, but then when I painted it and it was done, and I was like, "There's so much detail on that." I was like. That is really cool. And Dom, if you liked painting Black Siege, because it was quick, I'll tell you what, mate, these ships will take you next to no time. It's like 4 colours.
I was looking at the reference of what I was going to paint them as, and it just looks so simple. Unless they go for the there's a certain camo that some of the ships had when they were on raiding duties that I might do.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I might do that with some of the big ones, but I quite like just the grey. I like the grey, generic grey. Especially the destroyers are all just going to be generic grey. I'm not going to do any camo for them. They're just going to be that. And I might do on some of the big ships, like if I get when I get Ark Royal and that will stay probably grey. But I don't know. Maybe HMS Belfast I might do in colours. I might do a bit of research. Not too sure yet.
And British Legion had a paint off.
Yes, they did, and that's where I found how to do like sort of like sea bases. I took their ideas, and then I just added to it basically. Just did something a little bit different.
I saw British Legion's. He did a really good video on how to do the sea, didn't he? Which I thought.
Yes,
was really
he did,
quite
mate.
clever.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah. Really clever. Because what's nice about those bases, even though they are big and chunky, is they do have all the waves
Detail.
and everything.
You got all the you got the detail in there, haven't you? So the washes sit really nice in the recesses, and Victory at Sea ships are sensational. Yeah, Paul's just said.
Yeah, Paul just said. Victory at Sea ships are sensational. Yeah, I'm coming round to them, Paul. I have to say, I wasn't too sure on them. Mentioned earlier, you may have missed it, but the Warlords guys were going to come on next week, actually. And they sent us a freebie, and Ken and I got Victory at Sea. The other guys got some other stuff, which I'm sure they'll talk about in due course. But I got the German fleet, and Ken got the British fleet. And I was not convinced, which is why when they said to us, what can we send you of these things we're particularly keen to promote at the moment, I picked it but actually they do look really nice, I have to say.
It's really annoying as well. It's even better when you put when you've just put a spray on Dom, but your prime spray, it changes how they completely look, and it's like, you bastard, actually they look really sweet.
Fine. I even managed to find the rule system again yesterday.
You found it, did you?
Got it.
It's safely stored in a bunch of magazines. So
well, I've got 3 navies now, so just need a 4th. Oh no, we got a 4th. We got a 4th, haven't we? Yeah, we're all right.
You asked the question. So who's got what country? Ken's got them all basically. Is all you'll need to know. You know what he's like. He'll rush out and buy every last thing. Question for you, Steve. I think this was your area of expertise. Marshall Ney says it's the wrong period for you, Marshall Ney, isn't it? Is the US Airborne a good army in bolt action? I'm thinking of doing a bolt action army since my grandfather was in the US Air Force in World War II.
I don't play. The only American to play is Marines, but I imagine if, like any other airborne, like Fallschirmjäger or British Paras,
they're shit hot.
They're going to be hard as nails.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
good.
The Americans
as veterans. I think, do they have to come?
Go on.
Yeah, because I know Fallschirmjäger come with is it stubborn? So do the British Paras as well.
Yeah.
So I imagine that the Americans would come with that as well.
But they got the beautiful rule of fire and maneuver as well, haven't they?
Yes, that's why I run my US Marines. Lots and lots of firepower. I think with just going back to the question with the US Airborne, I think with any sort of parachute based army, so US Airborne, British Paras, Fallschirmjäger, the Italian paratroopers as well. I think what you get is a very elite, sort of nuanced army. I think you're always going to be outnumbered whenever you play. Certainly is whenever I play on my Fallschirmjäger. I'm always outnumbered when it comes to dice and actual units, men. Very, very outnumbered. But it's always a challenge to play. So yeah, but yeah, I'd say yes. It'd be a fun, enjoyable. Plus Ken's painting one as well, so he'd be able to tell you how they are paint wise.
Yes, I am actually. Yeah, thank you for
that. Yeah, you were, weren't you? That's one of your many projects on hold.
They are good. They are good. I have on my channel done an airborne D-Day painting guide and contrast. You can paint them in under 10 minutes. They're so quick. But Yeah, the nice thing about them is they can take actual like Browning light machine guns in their squads, which is really cool. So you get like the five rounds thingy, 5 shots. So you can take, so you can end up having 3 in each, like as many as you want in each squad, and then you get the obviously medium machine gun as well on top of that. So you can end up putting a hell of a lot of fire down.
That's
a bonus.
That's why when I run US Marines with fire and maneuver, you just give them, max out your squads as far as you can. You don't have to worry about the modifier moving and shooting. So once you get up to really close range, you can do an absolute load of damage. They're nasty at close range. I just like sort of parachute based armies, though. I think I like the idea of that kind of smaller army.
Joshua says,
doesn't surprise me that Josh is talking about Soviet airborne.
The Reds are coming. All right, gentlemen, I think we're at the hour. Blimey, that's gone pretty quickly tonight. Episode 4 is in the bag, as they say.
Yes.
Thanks for everybody who joined. Remember to get over to Mez's Minis and put in that PCP Feb code for a 10% off. And thank you as ever for that.
Yeah, it's me next week, isn't it?
It is Ken next week, so get over to Miniature Wargames Warriors group. We'll put up the reminders on social media and on our channels and what have you. And Martin's actually done something tonight. Look, he's actually done some figures.
Those on the Wibbly jigsaw bases, they're all done.
Wibbly jigsaw base.
You know what I mean? Yeah, my ECW.
I'll see if I can get the camera down here. I don't know what it's going to show, but I've managed to pretty much.
Oh, thank God for that! I thought we were going to see something really ugly.
That's offline, that is.
What you got up to? How did you get on with your land sticks? Where did you get to?
More or less finished. Just got to do the inking tomorrow, and then what I do is I have all the mad colours, do the ink highlights, then the boring stuff like browns, and they go on last. But yeah, I should have by this time tomorrow. I should have another base completed, so I'm looking forward to that.
Outstanding.
Well, everyone, stay safe, stay well, and we will see you, unless the world comes to an end, next Monday, 8 p.m. UK time on Ken's channel. Stay safe. See you soon.
Bye. See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.